Hey! Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the slogan. Okay, you can do this, Anna. Back again, eh? I knew you couldn't resist my charms for long. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Unless you already have, and I've forgotten. In which case, I probably won't forget a second time. What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't tell you I've never made any mistakes, but it'd be pretty hard to keep my job if I were trying to break everything. It's not so different from being a regular worker, just with less pay and less respect. Oh yes, I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead. Well, maybe. I might have had a supersized cup of mixed purpleberry punch and lemon slap that I might have knocked over when I was running routine diagnostics. How did you notice? The diagnostic normally takes hours, and that's only if humidity's low. I wanted to take the initiative to try and make it faster. Why should weed killer affect saplings? Weed killer. It's in the name. It should kill only weeds. That really seems like it's more on product design than on me. Well, yes. The orchards are becoming overrun with pests. Usually we give workers handguns and tell them to go to town, which results in many injured workers and a few dead sprats. Our exterminator Automax only kill mosquitoes, and even then, only if an exec somehow ended up in the orchards during a pollinization cycle. So I decided to do some reprogramming. The reprogramming was easy until I locked myself out of the terminal. Then, when I was running away from the bots, I dropped the terminal access card somewhere in the orchards. Laws alive. I really did think I was doing good by the orchards, but with all that you've told me, it sounds like I've done much more harm. I know it's a lot to ask, but is there a chance you could vouch for me to my boss? It might not seem like it, but I've been trying to take the initiative. I really do want to help. Wow, thank you so much. You do this for me and I'll make sure to do whatever I can to make things better. Laws, no. But I understand. Other employees don't get as many chances as I have, and I squandered them all. I don't deserve this job. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family. How was that? No jest? Well, that's a wager I sure would have lost. Guess even a busted spectrometer can be right if you hold it to the light, huh? Ouch. Well, your candor's appreciated, even if it means I'll have to hit the books even harder tonight. I wish you'd just said it was terrible. The pity stings worse than the shame. I'm sure you've guessed it, but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer. At least, not yet. Hold a moment. You haven't found anything, have you? I suppose there's no point in reiterating that I've just been doing what I can, huh? But there's nothing to come clean about. I've just been doing my best out here. I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001. Work-wise, I do a bit of everything. The orchards have been short-staffed as long as I've been working here. So if there's an odd job around, it usually gets passed to me. Happy to enlighten you on the fascinating world of internships. Laws, you've got a sixth sense for finding the most embarrassing question, huh? Consequently, I don't always feel like I deserve to be here. All the more reason to work harder, I say. Much higher chance of promotion. If I can tough it out here without getting axed, I can skip the 5+ years of customer service I'd normally have to deal with. I can prove my merit here and move up in the world. And the sooner I do that, the sooner I can set to improving things for everyone else. I get the feeling you don't think I can do it. That's okay. Trying to improve the system from within isn't the most glamorous thing, but I think it's worth the effort. Mother did mention that from time to time, but she always kept me far away from her work. Who could complain about happier workers and higher profit gains? Wow, that's some decidedly paranoid thinking. I can't imagine someone ever doing something that nasty. I suppose so. I also suppose Helen won't be stealing the limelight ever again. I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis, how the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, "Cry havoc, and let loose the canids of war." Who? Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about? Oh, it's also more dangerous than traditional employment. You don't have the experience to back up your work yet, but being fired isn't any less threatening. My mother is the Rizzo's assistant vice president of flavor testing. She set me up with this position. Mostly to keep me from troubling her work, I think. Look, I know what you're thinking, but I have the proper permit to mix those drinks. I just left it in my other work uniform. I mean, really, who can be sure about anything? Maybe you just imagined that the console was destroyed. Product experimentation without an R&D license is even more severe than damage to company property. Wouldn't want anyone thinking I'm making black market mixed drinks. Well, it could, but not if I'm given proper supervision. Everyone has to learn somehow, right? I guess I'm not sure what more to say. I suppose I just hope you'll make the right decision. If not for me, then for the rest of the Rizzo's workers. In my defense, mechanicals get loose and run rampant pretty often on their own. It's a common workplace hazard. In retrospect, you're right. At the time, I was more interested in not being burned to death. Believe me, I know that now. Guess I did sort of mess that one up. The Sprats are going to take over if we leave them alone for too long. You watch. Much as I love delivering coffee and medical attention, not quite, no. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I sometimes feel that our workers could be treated a little better. Maybe only get electrocuted awake every other day? So I'm shooting for administration in Rizzo's. Maybe even the board itself. Best way to evoke change is from the inside, I think. Hey, we have a lot of uniforms. It's hard keeping track of all your belongings. Since everyone's been so busy making sure the mosquitoes are properly tended, I tried to help cut down on the work time for other tasks, but it seems that was a bad idea. Well, they're really mean, for one thing. Mosquitoes don't stop stinging you when you die. They keep going for 10 or 15 minutes after. Don't I know it? Worker friend of mine ran afoul of one of the swarms and had to get new kidneys. Not due to renal failure, but because the mosquitoes kept stinging his kidneys. Hey, that was one honest mistake. One! And considering the fact that mosquitoes have a tendency to kill people, I think I learned my lesson. As did the rest of Rizzo's. Don't worry, though. Mosquitoes are typically only about when living folks aren't in the orchards. But when they do, the only way to get them to return is to go directly to hive control and activate emergency recall. Which isn't easy, considering all the hives near control. No. The mosquitoes are incredibly helpful for the orchards. They almost never get out either, and when they do, it's just a matter of recalling them from hive control. I'm not trying to distract you. And what failings are you talking about? I've been helping the orchards. But this is all a departure from what I wanted to say. I've been trying to help the orchards, not harm them. Though there was the time I tried to fix a broken hinge on one of our mosquito hives and released a swarm. Chased me around the orchards 3 times before I managed to get help. Someone needs to get to hive control to shut down the swarms. I am contractually obligated to tell you that mosquitoes never get out during visiting hours. I'm just so amazed that things ended up working out. I don't care what Mr. Hathaway says, the orchards aren't so bad. I got a message from my boss, and it wasn't pack your bags and get the hell off the planetoid. I get the funny feeling I've got you to thank for that. Mr. Hathaway said he knew about all my screw-ups across the orchards. I was afeared he was readying the axe, but instead he said I could still work here with his supervision. I got a message from Mr. Hathaway. Apparently I ain't suspected of any wrongdoing. Seems like he must have heard something to send the message at all. But I'm not complaining. He sounded ready to blow a blood vessel or two, so I guess I'll have to really earn my keep now. Thanks for sticking your neck out for me. You and Eridanos won't regret it. You must have really went out on a limb for me. Never would have expected to get away scot-free. Maybe this is a sign that I should try to do a little more than I already have.